Welcome to ADlib&D, where a group of amateur role-playing enthusiasts run a weekly D&D 5e game with a twist. The viewing public can vote on a large group of random concepts before the episode takes place. Once tallied, the DM will select 5 of the 10 most popular and tailor that episode of the game against the chosen ideas. Anything can happen, no episode will be the same. You can find where to vote on the Filthy Pig Discord server, which is linked below. Anyway, a recap of last episode. The Dodgy Brothers, having had a victory in the caves where a gem elemental attacked them, returned to speak with Princess Alandra, and she took the news of what was happening with interest, along with some of the other mentions of what the party had seen previously. She gave the party the things she promised, and also blessed Bindi, the squirrel, with some benefits to help out Riki. Now, after that, the party travelled to ever southwards towards Jace's nemesis, and along the way they ran into a half-elf peddling cloths that they purchased some of those, and then they ended up in a small town by the name of Terrason. When they reached Terrason, they ran into someone in the pub, and there was also a strange town in the fact that a lot of the people here seem to bless Donaru. So we left the night with an interesting conversation that Wobani had, and I believe we'll cut back to the morning when everyone's awoken and planning to head down for breakfast. So I'll pass it on to you guys.
You guys can start. I'm pulling up my notes.
Okay, well, Jace heads down to breakfast. Yeah, I think he had a good night the night before with his performing, and did a little bit of drinking, and it was good to have a good night's sleep without Wobani's snoring, and so he's feeling well rested. He goes and checks out the common room, see what's happening, what food's on offer, who's down there, that sort of stuff.
Well, Riki, well, she's resummoned cinders, and she's got a little very hungry squirrel in her hands, so she decides to visit the kitchens and see if they have any roasted nuts or anything she might replenish her supplies with.
Okay, so you head up to see the person in the kitchen. So the innkeeper, Orlo, is there in the morning, although he's looking a little bit worse for wear. He seems to have been up late last night. He looks you over and goes, "Well, what can I do for you, lady?"
I say, hello. I was wondering, I'm just looking for some travel supplies, actually some breakfast supplies for my companions. Do you have anything along the, I guess, nuts or anything like that we could have for my little friends here?
I think we can rustle something up for a copper or so. I'll get Patricia on it if you're happy to wait.
Yeah, sure. And I'll have some breakfast myself. What do you recommend?
Well, we've got a lovely selection of eggs, bacon, maybe some grain.
Yep, sold.
Okay, that'll be 1 silver for that.
Okay, and I hand that over.
All right, so he takes a change. He goes, "Much obliged," and he sort of turns and walks through a doorway into the kitchen. You can hear some small banging of pots inside.
While that's going on,
Yep.
can we jump across to the private channel for a second?
Yes, I can do that. 1 moment. Okay.
Okay. At the end of the conversation with Carlitos, I had asked him if he was going to help by maybe putting a brand or something on the brush of Jace. Do I know by the end of that he kind of, I think he confirmed that he was going to do something. Do I need to like potentially insight check to see, did he truly did something? Because that's going to affect how I go downstairs.
He will. I'm trying to think back as well. If he mentioned he was going to mark, you said the brush of. Oh, that's right. Yes, the hairbrush.
Yes, the hairbrush. Because I needed something to affirm for the others that this was a holy mission.
Okay, so yes, he will have marked Jace's hairbrush with the sign of Donaru.
Okay, cool.
We'll head back.
All right. It was a short one this time.
We're back. Just as that's happening, Orlo comes back and passes over a small amount of food for Cinders and Bindi, and hands over a lovely spread of eggs, bacon, some fine toast, and looks like a local fruit as well. He goes, here you go. Did you want anything to drink with that?
Coffee, lots of coffee.
All right. And he happily goes and starts getting a pot boiling.
A pot? Okay, I would ask.
It's a different method.
So, hearing some noises from down below as life is starting to be breathed into the inn, I get up out of bed and then I head across, get dressed and whatnot, and head across to Jace's room and I knock on the door. Jace, are you there, Jace?
There's no answer. Jason's downstairs.
I kick the door. Jace, damn it!
It doesn't open, although you have a sore foot.
Is it like a keyhole or something like this?
Yeah, there would probably be a keyhole there.
I'm going to try to look to see through the keyhole if I can see anything.
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Cripes.
You're looking through a tiny hole.
That is took a while to show up. That's a 13.
You get a bit of a view in there. You do see the bed, and it's pristinely made, but there's no one on it.
Okay, so there was no key in the keyhole either.
No.
Okay, clearly since I seen something. I'm like, So I come slowly going downstairs. The inn is 2 floors, like there is a downstairs or towards the common room?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so I head down the stairs to the common room, and when I get to the bottom of the stairs, I kind of just look about to see, where the lay of the land.
Okay, so as you're heading downstairs, you scout out what you can see in the common room, and you see Riki with Cinders and Bindi. Bindi and Cinders are chowing down on some grain and some fruit, and Riki is enjoying a nice hot breakfast. What are you doing at the moment, Jace?
So Jace had made his way down to have some breakfast. If Ricky's agreeable, he'll share a table with her and chow down and as well, and make some friendly conversation.
Orlo is currently standing over a pot of boiling water and is in the process of pouring some of that hot water into a container.
So I'm going to be sitting at the bottom of the stairs, and I'm going to be looking at Orlo, and I'm kind of dry washing my hands. And I'm sitting there and thinking, yes, supposed to meet Orlo this morning. When I look over at you, Jace, are you wearing your backpack?
Jace probably has it secured up in his room.
Okay, so I saunter over to where you're standing, having made my decision. Jace, I have a feeling. I don't know how to say. Something strange happened last night, and I have this strong feeling that Donnaru's blessing is on me, and her blessing is on you as well. And I have this strange sensation that she's left a mark about you.
Jace is giving Wobani a very skeptical look.
You haven't noticed your sigil on something, the sigil of Donnaru on something that is important to you.
You would have gone through your grooming procedures before you headed down, correct, Jace?
Oh, naturally.
Okay. Make a history check. Just to see if you remember.
9.
Okay. You don't remember anything odd when you were doing your grooming this morning, but it certainly looks like Wobani is onto something.
Onto something or on something? Wobani, have you started drinking already?
Why do you have to remind me of Alarak at this moment? Shit. And I've got my wineskin on me, so I pull it around and I take a swig. Yeah, at this point now I'm drinking something. But no, that's not why. I had it's not a premonition, because it wasn't anything so silly. But I have a certainty that she's visited you. I think she's on something that is important to you. She wanted to let you know that there's a mission for us.
Barney, sit down and have some breakfast. It's too early in the morning for all this.
Do you remember my conversation last night with Olo about learning to make beer?
Yes, I remember. I was waiting a very long time in the queue behind you. I was nearly died of thirst.
I'm not embarrassed at all when he says that. Yes, well, I was quite excited about the prospect of making beer and learning how to make beer. I felt this was something important to me. Today, it's not important anymore.
So you're saying you delayed my purchase of alcohol last night for no good reason?
At this moment, it would seem so.
Jace signals to Orlo for 2 cups of coffee.
Look, I just think that maybe you should look through things that are important to you. Some possession of yours. And I'm sure that you'll find that Donnaru, there's something different, and you'll have noticed something of Donnaru. Maybe the color's changed. Maybe it's purple like those new robes that I got, or a dark blue of the deep oceans.
Just then you hear a creak with one of the floorboards behind you, Jace, and you see Orlo waddling over, holding 2 cups of coffee, and goes, "You're after 2 of these?"
Thank you, Orlo.
He places both down in front of you, goes, That's fine. It's on the house. And he heads back.
Very kind of you. Jace pushes one at Wobani and says, "Drink this. No more wine until you've had your breakfast. I will go upstairs to my room and I will take a thorough inventory."
Okay. We have an agreement then. And I start drinking the coffee.
Jace takes his cup up to his room and checks the door to see if it's been tampered with before he goes in.
Make an investigation check.
It's a 17.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary. It seems like it was the same as it was when you first arrived last night, and the same this morning, although you're heading in the other direction this morning.
Okay. Well, he unlocks the door and goes in.
Okay. If you're going to look around, I'll ask for another investigation check to see if you find anything out of the ordinary, or a perception check, whichever you prefer.
Oh, I prefer a perception check. 23.
Okay. So you scan the room, and at the table where you have the products for your grooming kit, you see your hairbrush, and what is striking you now that for some reason you didn't pick up this morning is there seems to be some sort of image that is catching the sunlight just so, and it's sparkling in your eyes. You can't make out what it is from where you are standing at the doorway, but it's a little bit different to what you were seeing before.
Okay. Jace goes over slowly to have a look, while sort of keeping an eye out for any other sort of prank that might be waiting for him.
Okay, as you get closer, the image comes to clarity, and you can see on the back of the hairbrush is a small image of a wave crashing on the shore. It's just a bit like a sketching. It's not filled in as such, but it's tastefully done, and it seems to suit the hairbrush. But it wasn't there before.
Jace gives it rubs at it with his thumb, see if it comes off.
It does not. It seems to have been etched in.
Okay, Jace packs up all his stuff and takes his backpack back down to the kitchen with him.
Okay. So you the rest of you see Jace heading back down. He's got his backpack slung across his on his shoulders. There's a slight look of confusion on his face.
I look up expectantly.
It's more a look of skepticism. Jace is very much of the view that Wobani is trying to pull some sort of scam here. He has a strong memory of all the times Alarak and Wobani have lied to him or tried to have one over him in the past, and he's just waiting for Wobani to reveal what the what his caper is.
So, Jace, was it true? Is something changed?
Okay, Wobani. Here's the thing. I don't know how you did it, and it doesn't really matter. Just tell me what it is you're trying to get me to do, and we'll see if I'm happy to do it or not, alright?
I kind of furrow my brows a bit and can I see? What did you change?
Jace decides he wants to test Wobani, so he pulls out his flask, and he tries to subtly cast prestidigitation to make a wave appear on his flask.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check to try and hide the spell.
Versus my
That's a 20.
perception check.
Okay, yep, perception check. See if you see it.
22.
Okay, so Jace picks up the water bottle, and you can see he's being quite careful with some sort of spell he's casting, but you do catch quick movements and a little bit of murmuring from him. But he looks like he's feels like he's done a good job.
I take the flask, look at the whatever it is that he's created, the sigil, and I look him in the eyes, and and I'm like, Jace, you do recall that you cast that spell on my feet a few times? You don't think that I would remember the movements and the words you muttered? Now tell me, are you shitting me? There was nothing changed? It can't be right.
Wobani, come on, out with it. What is it you want me to do?
I need to know, was the dream I had true?
Jace pulls out his brush and he shows it to Wobani.
So when he hands me the brush, I look at it and I run my hands over the etching. And as I run my hands over it, my eyes kind of widen a little bit and I fall down to my knees and I'm like, it was true. It was real. Carlos didn't lie. Shit. And I look up at Jason and Riki. Well, Dodgy Brothers and sister, it would seem we have a mission. And I apologize that this comes at the wrong time. I do want to help you, Jace, as much as I want to find Alarak's fiancé. But it seems that, well, I'm not sure, but Donaru, once upon a time, as I understand, this village was not so landlocked, and it is now kind of, I guess, upon an ancient city. And Carlos said that he was also a scion of Donaru, and he needs our help. He needs us to go down into that ancient city and reclaim one of Donaru's artifacts. It's a holy quest. It's a test. I think I need to do this mission. I need to find this object of power. I think, and I know, that if I find this object of power, it will aid us immensely in seeking, what did you call him? Fernie Brown?
Fantir Brown.
Fantir.
So you're saying that Carlos has come to you with a scheme to loot some relic from caverns beneath the surface, and
I wasn't sure. I thought it was bullshit myself, because, I mean, Misty step into my room, Misty step out. I know Misty step. But, damnations, I mean, he said that you would have a marking. And there it is.
Someone incapable of casting Misty step couldn't possibly create such a marking.
I don't know. He's not who he says he is. He's not as young as he looks. He talks about ancient times.
Jace looks around the room. Is Carlos here?
No, it's just you three and Orlo at the moment.
And the thing is, too, is he said that, I've never thought about this. I mean, Donaru found me. I found Donaru. Come see, come saw. And I never thought much about it. I just had the faith that I tried to grow, I guess, or maybe the faith found me more. I don't know how it works really, but I never thought to question or wonder about religion and why, is there temples here or temples there, or what that means. But apparently, Donaru is not like a well-established goddess. In all your travels, have you ever seen a temple of Donaru?
Have I?
No. Well, it would have been very unlikely. Donaru is not a well-known goddess in the Tor Sovereign. Most of the churches around tend to focus on Camulus and Wellen. as the two major gods.
Look, I would suggest that from, a scientific perspective, I think this might be worth a bit more proof before we start digging around. But to be honest, as you say, we've got a whole village here who are really keen on Donaru. I think that's well worth investigating at the very least.
Well, there is a temple here, and there's Father Hillman. He's the priest there. Maybe we can talk to him and ask him some questions about these things that Carlos said.
I try very hard to avoid entanglements with deities. In my view, very little good ever comes of it.
Well,
We're not challenging the deity, though. We're investigating, aren't we? We're looking into it.
I see two possibilities here. One is Carlos is lying, in which case we should not do it. And the other is he's telling the truth, in which case we should probably not do it.
you don't think we should go do that?
Do we want to really bring any god's attention to us? I think that, staying
But
under
she
the
talked to
radar
me,
is the
Wait,
best.
I mean, Jace, why do you think Wobani spends so much time praying? Do you think it's because he doesn't actually want his goddess to pay him any attention?
She talks to me, I swear, a couple of times when I was the least expecting moment. I could swear on the bastard mother of mine in her grave, even though I don't know if she's dead or not, but I heard a voice in my head. And I'm telling you, it wasn't that puta. It was a celestial word I used there.
But maybe it was the puta madre.
It was indeed.
So let's just go back to what Carlos wants us to do. So there's some artifact. He wants us to get it, and then we get to keep it.
He said it's called the Hammer of the Crushing Wave.
Who gets to keep the hammer, Wobani?
I didn't ask that question. I was just, to be honest, he scared the shit out of me. He woke me up in the middle of the freaking night when I was, sleeping. And all those words you said to me earlier about wingman stuff, I was freaked out he's coming to rape me.
Goodness.
This took a bit of a turn.
Turned dark quite quickly.
What do you do when a strange man is in your room in the middle of the night and you didn't invite them?
I kill them.
Well, that's
Usually
a good
works
point.
out for the best.
Bendy is on Ricky's shoulder at the moment, and she shakes her fist in agreement.
No, I don't actually kill them. That's a bit too vicious. I am a small scholarly gnome. I usually get my squirrel to do it.
It is probably something I would love to see. That would be, and probably maybe I would join. I'm learning some social cues here. Still,
Okay. Speaking of social cues, if we extract a hammer from an ancient temple, surely it would be worth hanging on to for further study.
well, I personally kind of think that he was sent. He says that he's not in her good graces anymore. That he was once like her right arm that was doing her will and correcting wrongs and whatnot. But he was defeated once upon a time. And on his defeat, he lost the hammer. And he is sure that it is in the ancient city that lies below. And that he's trying to reclaim it to get back into her good graces. But the way he tells the story, this seems like this was thousands upon thousands of years ago. I mean, he looked too damn pretty to be, like, a regular human. So, maybe we just talk to Father Hillman.
Sounds like a good thing to do.
Says a mysterious voice.
I know. You've got to fill the blank somehow.
Okay, let's do that, Wobani. But
Look,
Next time you want me to do something, how about you come at me honestly, alright? None of this breaking into my room and destroying my brushes, alright?
you do know that I don't have anything that could really do that. I've got my little knife here that I use for skinning things, but it's flimsy. It couldn't etch that. Look, and I hand you my little knife.
It looks like a simple knife.
There's no way. Like, look, does the point fit into those etches like that?
Certainly the
Jace
mark
just
on the
gives
hair.
Wobani a look.
Certainly the mark on the hairbrush is a very fine make.
And my hungamunga. How in the hell could I do it with this?
I don't know all the magic that you know, Wobani. I'm sure you found a way.
You want to see magic? And I do my drunken fist move where it looks like I'm off balance. Looks like I'm about to fall over drunk, but really my balance is like that of a razor's edge. And then I do a flip.
Make a acrobatics roll.
Oh shit. 10.
You manage to land it, but as you're coming back down, your foot clips the table nearby, and one of the pieces of cutlery on there rattles around. Orlo looks up and goes, "Hey, what are you doing back there? You're not drunk already, are you?"
And I say, Kia! See? You see that? That's my magic.
Jace holds up 2 more fingers for more coffee.
Look,
That one will
the
cost
least we
you.
can do is visit the father. We can at least verify whether or not the shit that Carlos said is true. I did not. Look at me. Look at my eyes, Jace. I did not mark your freaking brush.
Can I get an insight check on it, please?
Yeah, go for it. Make a deception or perception roll in secret if you want, Wobani.
Right. A perception?
Oh, sorry, persuasion or deception, whichever you
Alright.
want to go with.
Oh shit! How do I do it in secret?
Oh, there's no tower.
Yeah.
Just roll it across the table
All right.
and
And I'll
whisper
put
it to
in-
me.
Yeah. Right. /W GM. That's what I got.
He seems earnest in his in what he's saying.
Okay. Let's go see the father, hey?
Well, if you want, I can drink more of that damn coffee. I only had one sip of my wineskin. I wouldn't have even had that if you didn't freaking bring up Alarak, and then I take another sip of my wineskin.
Just then, Orlo waddles over and places. He has his jug of coffee and he pours in a couple more cups for you for the cups that he brought over before. And he goes, "That'll be a couple of copper, please."
Jace slides it across.
And then he looks over to Wobani. "You having anything for breakfast? We got eggs, we got bacon, we got toast."
I am full on my faith in Donneru, Olo. But thank you for carrying the barrel up. You could probably carry it back down to the wagon. I think we might need it.
He gives you a long, hard look.
I give him 2 coppers.
He gives you a longer, harder look.
I give him 2 more coppers.
He takes them and then walks off.
Damn, he drives a hard bargain. Strong motherfucker, that guy. Oops, I didn't say that. Better not put that in your book, Bindi. That was a northern tribesman saying.
No, I'll just I'll write some symbols down.
Yeah, celestial for sure.
I just write them right next to my latest swear word, Satan bananas.
Yeah, that's more funny than it is insulting, I think.
You look like Satan's bananas?
Depends how it's used.
Okay, so you guys are heading out straight to the church?
Yep. And gather up my backpack and whatnot, and I'll head out there for sure.
Okay.
Jace is not enthusiastic about this. If there's any suitable distractions on the way, he might seek to take it up.
And I'm trying to be hyper alert to see if I can see Carlos anywhere.
Make a perception check, the both of you,
Do I get to make one?
if you want to. But Jace is looking for things to distract himself, and Wobani's looking for someone.
You didn't meet him, unfortunately, Riki. You went to bed.
I'm just looking around. I'm curious.
Okay.
Seems like a brand new, fresh day in a new village to me.
Okay, so Jace, you notice with the 15, you notice that there's some kids playing some sort of a little wooden or game with a wooden hoop and some rocks. Wobani, you take a long, hard look. There's a few villagers walking up and down the dirt road. There's no one you recognise. Well, there's probably a couple you recognise from the inn last night, but certainly doesn't seem to be Carlos's face on any of them. Riki, you catch the sight of a beautiful fluffy white cloud that reminds you of one of the times you spent back in your homeland.
Is it a cumulus nimbus?
It is. It could form into a thundercloud.
That's good. Those are my favourite.
So are you going to do anything with that, or is everyone moving on?
I will keep moving. I'm keeping my vigil to try to find Carlos, but moving towards where my last night's previous discussion where the temple's supposed to be.
As in the local temple here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Yourself, James?
Yeah,
Said-
Jace is just going to keep moving.
Okay.
the father was supposed to be having a service at like 10 a.m. or something.
Yes, that is correct. It's probably about 9 a.m. at the moment.
Okay.
You feel a sudden hole in your chest, Wobani, where you seem to be standing up, although you hope there's no consequences.
Yeah. Almost want to turn back, but no. The mission. Gotta stay on the mission.
All right. So, are you just wandering around looking for the temple, or are you asking people where it might be?
Oh yeah, for sure. If it's not immediately obvious, then I'm absolutely asking where to go.
Okay. So it doesn't take you too long. So most people are happy to direct you to where the temple is, and before long, it about 15 minutes or so, you catch sight of a rather modest-looking temple made of wood and a little bit of stone that is sitting on a small hill at the eastern side of the village. There's some lovely trees spread around the temple site on the hill, and it seems to have lovely green grass. There's an old lady working away at the flower bed nearby, and there's a couple of old men drinking something and throwing a metal ball in the air into a puddle of sand nearby.
I ignore the distractions and I walk up to the door and I turn back to Riki. I've never actually ever entered one of these things. Are we supposed to knock or something?
What does my knowledge tell me?
Make a religion check.
That's a 10.
You've heard of a few religions. Some of the more famous ones, you're supposed to bow low and then enter in with your head lowered. Others, it's more about making a small blessing to the god or goddess before you enter.
What do we think this goddess would prefer?
It's really hard to say. You don't have a lot of experience with Donaru. You've heard of her before.
No. I'm turning around and ask Wobani. Wobani, what kind of a goddess is Donaru? Does she like you to bow down low before her or bless things on her behalf?
I always just say all the time is usually what I say is may she live forever.
Well, if you can incorporate that into some kind of entrance, go for it. Whatever feels right to you, I would suggest. You are the worshipper.
And having noted some of the moves that Jace had done the previous night when he was trying to entertain the crowds.
Oh, no.
The clouds. How auspicious. I make a flourish and I say, Donru, may she live forever. And then I walk up to the doors and I give him a shove.
Make a performance check. See how well this flourish comes out.
And of course, I add my drunken mastery movements into the flourish, so it looks off balance, but it's a subtle balance between being unbalanced and balanced.
With that
4.
natural 1, your flourish quickly turns into a level of unbalance that you're not expecting. Can you make a? It turns into a stumble. Can you make a acrobatics check to see if you catch yourself before?
Can I try and catch him as well, if he needs it?
He wobbles towards you, but then with an uncanny speed, he topples in a different direction, and then he topples back again, and then he steadies himself, and it looks like it was all a game.
And I said, Donru, may she live forever. And I smile at you, Riki.
I smile back and say, you didn't tell me that Donneru was a trickster goddess?
She's a goddess. She can do many things. And I smile with my teeth showing.
I'm disturbed. Grin back and keep my distance.
My teeth are excessively large. No, they're not.
Please don't bite me.
Yeah.
All right, let's proceed.
Okay. So as you enter into this temple, it's not a particularly large building. It would be probably about 50 feet deep and 20 feet wide. There's some pews down one side and a hallway running down the right-hand side. Just an open hallway. There's a pedestal at the end, and along the walls on either side, you catch murals of images of the sea, of boats fishing, and at the front, there's a stained glass window of the now becoming well-known image of the wave of Donneru. There's no one inside the building at the moment, although you do catch sight of a small door off near the front of the building, as in there's a small little antechamber nearby.
As soon as I come in, I just shout out loudly, Father Hillman, are you here?
There is a bit of a pause, and then you hear a bit of a rattle and bang. It goes, oh, damn it. That stupid bookcase. And then you see the door open, and an elderly man, probably in his 70s or so, but the hair that still remains on his head is a very silver grey, and he walks with a stoop and a cane. He's a human, and he wears blue and white robes that from a distance look fine, but as he gets closer, you notice that they are a little bit tattered and worn. And he goes, who speaks? Who is it there?
'Tis I, Donneru, scion of... no, 'tis I, Wobani, scion of Donneru.
Oh, wait, scion of Donneru?
Yes, scion, not Cylon. It's okay.
What
How do we know he's not a Cylon?
Do you hear the music, Wobani? He starts to walk up a bit closer and goes, let me have a look at you. He waddles up. Do you come towards him as well?
I lean towards Riki and with my mouth behind my hand, with my hand in front of my mouth, I say, Ricky, you don't think that's actually the Father Hillman? He's like old and disheveled.
What did you expect?
Like, someone who was like me, really powerful and strong and full of life.
Young and disheveled?
Wait, was that a shot?
No, I'm just curious. Like, perhaps
Jace
one
gives
day,
Ricky a high five.
perhaps one day you'll reach a stage in life where you feel like you've accumulated enough wisdom regarding Donnaroo that you wish to sit down yourself and share your wisdom with others. Perhaps Father Hillman's like this also. He chooses to care for his flock rather than adventure. I'm just presuming. Maybe you should just ask him. He could just be, I don't know, old and tatty.
Just at that moment, you feel some sort of a wrinkled hand touching your arm there, Wobani, and the father is in front of you going,
what was your name again? It was a bit difficult to hear from the other end of the building.
I lean down because he's squat, right? You said he's human but old.
Old human who's bent over using a cane. So he would probably be at your chest height or so.
I lean down and I shout in his ears, "Wobani!"
Abani! Hello, Abani! And who do you have there as well?
I look at him and I frown viciously. He's not like Winter at all. This is Riki, and this is Face.
So that's Sleeky and Jace, did you say?
I slap my hand in my face, and I shake my head. Yes.
Hello, Sleeky.
He holds his hand out to you, Jason, starts to shake it vigorously.
And you must be Jace. That's an odd name for a woman, but I'm no judge.
Jace gives Wobani a dirty look and lets Father Hillman shake his hand.
What can I do for you in the wonderful arms of our goddess Donnaroo? Are you here to listen to my sermon? Where's my sermon?
And he starts ruffling, looking around his pockets for some pieces of paper. You can hear rustling going on.
No, not that. I don't even know what that means, but no. I wonder, Father Hillman.
No, I'm Father Hillman.
I kind of shake my head, and then I mutter and make the somatic gesture to make my hand turn into the sacred flame. So it's got the radiant light of Donnaroo in it.
Oh, that light is beautiful. Oh, I could do that too.
And he starts to move his hands in an erratic gesture. And there is a similar kind of light, but it splutters and then it goes out.
Well, I used to be able to do it.
Oh, it's most excellent. I seen that there was something there. Look, Father, as you can see, I am a scion of Donnaroo. I need your help. I am told of a story about Donnaroo, about this village, and I wonder, is there truth behind the stories of this village? Can you tell me the history of this village, where it comes from, and how it's related to Donnaroo?
Well, Donnaroo is been in this village for a while. I should suspect you're right in saying that. Well, what was it exactly you were trying to say?
I hope that perhaps you knew more of the history behind your village.
There's no mystery. This is a village.
Oh, damnations. I keep trying with a variety of different ways on how to...
After a while, he gets your understanding. He goes,
well, there's been tales of a magnificent city that used to be here, but that was a long time ago. And honestly, I think they're just folk tales that would, to make people think that they're more important than they need to be.
But, well, have you ever heard of the hammer of the crushing wave?
What? No. What's that you speak of?
You've never heard? How about, and I describe what Carlos looks like.
And he goes,
Hmm.
and then he goes,
One moment.
and he starts to waddle off.
Jace gets Wobani a look that says, like, you see.
And I kind of look back at him feeling actually a little bit shamed and embarrassed.
So he disappears into his little room. Do you guys follow, or you're happy to wait?
Yeah, I don't know about social graces, so I kind of follow.
Okay. So as you walk up, you can catch sight that this room's quite small. That adjuncts off the temple, and it's got a small cot and a large array of bookcases, and you can see Father Hillman is on a small stand and is rifling through some books higher up, and he goes,
No, not that one. No, oh, blast it!
as some of the books come tumbling down on his hand. He goes,
Ow! Oh, that's the one.
and he sort of turns around and picks up an old dusty book and goes,
Yes, this is it. Just a moment.
and he sort of walks over to the only table in this room and puts down. This is a very large and old leather-bound book, and when he drops it on the ground, there's a bit of dust that kicks up from it.
Yes. Let me see.
And he opens it, and you can see inside there's some very yellowed pages and script that it's a bit hard to see from where you are what language it is, but if you get closer, you might get a better understanding.
Oh, I'm definitely over his shoulder.
Okay, so looking over his shoulder, you can catch sight that this actually script is celestial, and he's flicking through pages. It's hard to read too much as he seems to be flicking through rather quickly, but from what you can gather, it seems to be descriptions of entities that are well known in the circles of like Donru, so like angels and things of that nature. And there's artists' impressions on the book, and I
should let you know that although I know how to speak Celestial, I don't know how to read it.
Okay. Well, it seems gobbledygook to you then. So all that stands out to you are pictures. Yeah, looking at the pictures, and he keeps flicking past, and then you catch sight briefly of one that looks a bit like Carlos, but soon enough that page flicks past. It goes,
where is it? Where is it?
Wait, Father Hillman, that
what?
That page there. Go back to that page.
What page?
And he sort of flicks back a couple of pages again, and
I stop it when it gets to that page.
Oh, careful! This book's thousands of years old. What, this page?
So? That's important?
He moves your hand away, and you can see there's a slight tear in the book, and he looks at you with a little bit of
I see what you mean. I'm sorry about that.
But, so this page here,
Yes, that looks just like Carlos.
What? Carlos? No,
Well, I called him Carlitos. And I shout, Jace, look! Carlos is in the book!
This is the fallen angel Elvira.
Huh?
Name of Carlos.
Elvira? What?
Do I know anything about angels? Would I have heard about such things from the northern tribes?
Make a religion check.
Would fallen angel make him bad?
That is a 2 minus 1. That is a 1.
No. You've heard of entities that do Donaru's will, but to have been called an angel, it has never alighted your ears until now.
Would I have any idea about this?
Yeah. Make a religion check.
Has that come up? I rolled it. Hang on, let's try again.
Yeah.
Jace rolled. Jace, you
Yeah,
definitely
Jace
know
rolled.
about angels and
So does Riki.
And
Yes.
Riki
16 and 22.
actually is aware. So, Jace, you know about angels in general, and fallen angels are angels that have fallen from grace, and due to something they've done or said, usually, and now shunned by their god or goddess. Riki, you also know that some angels that have fallen, not necessarily evil per se. They might have done something very stupid and haven't had the ability to redeem themselves. So you've also heard that fallen angels may wander the world attempting to redeem themselves in the future.
Okay, so I tell Wobani and Jace that information, and I just say we really need to sit down and think about this, because if this person is a fallen angel, he might not be giving the best advice.
As you guys tell me this, I get this bright look in my eyes, and I'm like, I mean, an angel is like a scion, so I'm an angel?
Do you have a nice way of breaking this to him, Jace?
Jace just turns to Wobani and says, yes, you are.
Is there anything really cool about the picture that really catches my fascination?
So the image of this angel is one where he is on the ground. So most of the images you've seen so far, there's dove-like wings protruding out of their back, and they're shown in a radiant light, either fighting back hordes or providing food for the needy or something of that nature. But for this
Do I
angel,
see anything that looks like tattoos?
tattoos?
Yeah.
In general, no. They seem to be fairly clean-skinned, but they're also wearing clothes.
A trap stamp of a wave on their back.
The image of this angel, however, he's on the ground on all fours. His wings have been severed. They're only stubs now, and he's in quite a large bit of shadow, so it's hard to actually see much beyond a silhouette. And you can also catch sight that there's a glimmer in the distance, and as you look closer, Wobani, you note that it looks like a hammer that seems to be coloured gold.
He doesn't have a speech bubble coming out of his mouth saying, "And I'm an evil bastard. Don't believe a thing I say." Does he?
I'm sure you could add one.
Father Hillman, does your book say, or do you know what this angel did to fall from grace?
Wait, what? Oh, this one. Let me see. Oh, yes. It was a long time ago. He was one of the guardians and well-respected angels, but it seems in a period where he was being a little bit irresponsible, he lost the golden hammer, I think it's said in here, and he was banished from Donaru's realm forever to try and find it and retrieve it back.
Ah, all right. So if he got the hammer back, he would be able to be redeemed.
Well, I mean, you have to read a little bit into his. It's not all of these things are true. I think you have to look at them as metaphors. So I think this is a metaphor for people to see that they can be redeemable if they've done something wrong.
And is lost the hammer a euphemism for something?
Well, it's a bit hard to say, really, but
And he sort of stutters for a second and starts going a bit beet red.
let's just say that he lost something valuable. Yes, that's it. Yes.
Like respect.
So,
Well,
Like his religion?
oh, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I don't think there's anyone like this, at all. Like I
I mean,
said, it's just a metaphor.
He's there in the
saw him.
spotlight in the picture.
He was in
you
the bar.
You saw Carlos. You can't make out who this looks like with any great detail. The facial structure from the silhouette is very similar compared to
That is
all of
Carlos,
the
Father Hillman. I tell you, I swear on my bastard mother's life.
okay, so Wobani, let's just say that Carlos and this fallen angel are the same person. What that would mean is that someone who Donaru has rejected for appallingly bad behavior and judgment is asking us to do him a huge favor to try to get your goddess to change her mind about punishing him. That's not exactly a quest from your goddess.
No, that's, I think, and I pull out the wooden statue, and I place it down on the desk, Father Hillman's desk, and I say, "Remember, Jace, we didn't know that this was an object of Donru. I got a vision, and she said that this would belong to her, and that nymph said that it was an object of her. So I think that this, what did you say his name was again, Father Hillman? Elvira?
Elvel. I think Elvel. It says here Elvel.
This Elvel, I think that I met him not because I'm to retrieve the hammer for him. I think the hammer is meant for my hands.
No selfish intentions there whatsoever.
And furthermore, I think that I must be an angel, and that will give me wings. And then I kind of, I jump up on the desk, and I say, "Watch." And then I jump off the desk, basically kind of with every expectation, because I spread my arms wide, keeping my feet together, as if I'm as I get to the height, I'm going to stay up there for like 5 seconds, because I'm almost flying.
Jace whispers so only Riki can hear and says, "Well, you get blackout drunk again, Wobani, and you're going to wake up with wings tattooed on your back."
Or a new tramp stamp on it that says angel. Little halo above it.
And it says it in infernal instead of celestial.
So, are you aiming for like a belly flop here with this jump, or?
No, I have every intention that the will of Donaru is on my side, and that she's going to hold me aloft to put a exclamation point on what I just said.
Okay, so you launch yourself with great abandon and come crashing down with a solid thump, and the bookcase nearby drops a large contents of books that come tumbling down and cover you up, and you can see poor old Father Hillman goes,
What was all that about? Please leave! Oh my God!
I pop my hand up through the books with my thumb raised, and I say, "Hey."
Father Hillman is waving his stick around now and is hitting your hand.
He says, Go!
Ouch. I scramble out of the out and leave his office.
He starts mumbling and he's putting the books back slowly.
Stupid people. What are they doing?
Are you following, or is everyone following?
Yes,
Yes.
Jace will follow after.
This is bound to be amusing. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys exit the temple, and can I get everyone to make a perception check, please?
21.
11.
5.
Okay. So
Was that Elmer Fudd laugh there?
Be very quiet. I'm outside of the temple.
I think
Okay,
Frankie
so-
got it down.
as you exit the temple, Jace picks up first. There's that Carlos that you noticed in the tavern last night, and it takes Wobani a little while after his escapades into attempting to fly. Riki, on the other hand, is busy writing something down in her book and doesn't manage to notice anything.
I'm drawing a picture of a Satan banana.
Perfect. So what do you guys do?
Jace gives Alval a long, hard look and waits for him to approach or do something.
I'm rubbing my backside a little bit because that actually hurt a bit, and I'll be like, could have sworn. I think I had 2 seconds of hang time, don't you think, Jace? At least 2 seconds.
It was at least 2 seconds, Wobani. I think you should keep practicing that, and
You're probably
eventually
right.
you'll be all over it.
Yeah, indeed. Dodgy
Okay.
Brothers, ho!
He's just off to the side, down the road a little bit, sitting on a barrel, watching. He's not approaching at all. Just keeping an eye.
And I'm like, holy shit! It's Carlitos! And so I start walking over towards him.
Okay. So as you start walking towards him, he gets off the barrel and then strides confidently towards you, Wobani, and goes, I see you've visited the temple. Did you learn anything of interest?
I look at him, and then I start walking around him in a circle, looking him up and down, and making special attention to see if I can see any nubs on his shoulders.
Well, he's not he doesn't have exposed shoulders. He's
I know.
still wearing his hair, and he's wearing a heavy cloak, so it's hard to see anything. But I mean, you can attempt to make a perception check to see if you catch anything.
I will. Damn it. I
While
don't
it
have
is
my
all
shovel.
happening, and Carlos is presumably distracted, Jace marches up as well, and he pretends to stumble and catch himself on Carlos. But what he's really trying to do is to establish if Carlos has actually hiding behind an illusion like disguise elf.
Okay. Well, we'll do Wobani's first. So you want to roll that perception check?
Yep, sure. That is a 23.
So you walk around carefully, and the shoulder blades look a little bit more prominent than what you're expecting. But just as you're about to take a closer look, Jace comes tumbling in and lands heavily onto Carlos, and Carlos sort of moves around quickly and goes, "Hey, what was that all? What was that all about?" And your perception is lost, Wobani. Meanwhile, Jace, when you land heavily onto him, doesn't seem to be any sort of illusion present, and he picks you up and steadies you.
Terribly sorry. I seem to have tripped over something.
I'm going to poke him in the shoulder.
Okay. Just a second. Can you make a D20 roll, please?
Shit. Here we go. That's a 7.
As you go towards poking him in the shoulder, he spins around with lightning speed and catches your hand.
Hey, now. Go ahead.
I'm just going to come straight out and say, Carlos, we've been in the temple. we found an old book that had a picture that looked very much like you in it. And we heard a story about a fallen angel and a lost hammer. This probably would explain some of the rather clumsy attempts to investigate you, and I apologize on behalf of my colleagues for, if indeed you are a fallen angel, this would be terribly, shall I say, not very dignified.
He nods his head towards you, Riki, and goes, "Well said. It's hard to say. It's much better to come out and say something than try and look for it." He gives both Wobani and Jace a little bit of a narrow look.
Jace straightens up and says the man who was sneaking around people's rooms last night, playing pranks.
Well, I believe Wobani wanted to see a sign that what I was saying was true, and it's a simple thing. And he waves his arm quite slowly and whispers something. And you
have a tramp stamp.
And then stops and goes, if you don't like that image, I have removed it for you.
Jace checks.
It is indeed removed.
I thank you, but for putting back that which you did, but it does not excuse your presence in my room last night or your interference with my property.
Desperate times. How's the saying go? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I saw Wobani as someone who I could provide assistance in my abilities.
Carlos, why are these suddenly desperate times, if this all happened a very long time ago?
Well, I will come clean. Yes, I am Velv, the lost fallen angel, but it's been a long time, and I feel that at this age there is a growing darkness. I don't know whether you have felt it as well, and I'm useless down here. I need to be helping Donaru, not aimlessly wandering the world.
Darkness? Like, oh, what? Do you think he knows about the cave and the gem monster and whatever the hell it was guarding? You think that's what he means? No, he means the elves and those dragons.
Or the balls of light.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What do you know about floating balls of light, Carlos? Is this the darkness?
That would be the opposite of darkness, Wobani.
You're just being... I have every right to demote you from your position that you just attained, smartass.
I'm sure that would need a vote at the next scheduled meeting.
So Alvel looks to you guys and goes, "Oh, you've seen that as well." Well, yes. It may not look like much, but those are signs of a rising power that could quite possibly unseat the gods. I cannot tell you more, but I need to get back into Donaru's good graces, because without me, I'm sure she will not fare as well as she hopes.
Well,
So-
easily solved. Wobani, how about you say a quick prayer to Donaru, explain the situation, and ask her to let Alvel go back upstairs.
I give Jace a look, and then with my left hand, I take my I put my index finger to the bottom of my left eye, and I kind of pull my eyelid down a bit, and I look at him intently.
And what? Don't say anything. Just look at him intently.
I'm expecting him to know that gesture.
Jace says, "That's not normally how you pray. Is this some special prayer?"
I sigh and I shake my head, and I say, "Daisy, drop her."
Jace turns to Carlos and says, "Look, Carlos, I've never met you before. You haven't made a great start. The fact that your own goddess doesn't want you around is not a great recommendation for you either. I'm not really sure why my friend here thinks we should help you. Perhaps you could make a case?"
Well, what the issue is that Donaru will not just forgive transgressions. They must be proven. And if I sought out Wobani here because he is one that seems to be close to Donaru, and with the path that he is following, I believe that Donaru will be looking favorably, and I to be able to, I mean, as much his good graces, such that she can see that I am still useful. With me there, I'm useless down here, but with me up in her plane of existence, I have...
There's all so many things that you could lose up there. I know. Why should I help you? You've made a good case why, it would be great for you, but what's in it for us?
Jace, this is... Look, it's not for... It's not for Evel. It's for me.
He is not your goddess, Wobani. He is someone who your goddess has spurned and rejected.
I understand that, but you're not doing it for him. You're doing it for me.
For you? What do you get out of it? He wants the hammer for himself.
I told you.
He wants the hammer for himself. He just said it.
Wait, I'm not getting any hammer. I am just raising one of the ancient temples to back to its former glory. I do not know where the hammer is. Do you know where it is?
And would the temple remain dedicated to Donaru?
Of course, it must be the way.
No, I'm not asking you, Wobani. I'm asking this creature.
The temple. There is a hidden city underneath this poor town. And it used to be a wonder to all that saw it. It's in ruins now, but there is it used to worship Donaru, and I plan to bring it back to the glory it once had. With this, I may be able to get into her good graces, and if you were to be able to do this, Wobani, I'm sure she would look to you with happiness as well. As to the hammer of the crushing wave, I lost that years ago, to the east of here.
Wait, why do you need our help?
Let's just say there are some things down there that make it difficult for me to perform the ritual I need to, and I've lost quite a lot of power. I'm not a
He's not a fighter anymore. He's a lover, like Jace. But look, here's the thing. I think I need to go down there. I'm sure that Donaru wants me to go down there. There's something down there that will aid us in our journey.
Wobani,
especially, it's going to help you a lot, Mr. Jace.
Wobani, 5 minutes ago you were sure you could fly. 5 minutes before that you were sure that we were on a quest to get a hammer.
We are on a quest to get a hammer. I tell you, I know it.
You know what? The general direction has remained constant. Let's give him that.
With the fact that we're on a quest, that general sort of
Yes,
direction.
we're on a quest.
It's very,
Look,
very,
look
very
at it this
general.
way. I didn't want to help out that nymph. I figured she had it out for us. She seemed shady as hell, that Alandra, and you guys wanted to go in that, so I did. I ceded. So same shit.
Jace casts suggestion on Carlos and says, "You really want to tell us your true intentions?"
Okay. What's the saving throw?
Wiz DC 16.
16. Okay. The magic washes over him, and you can see that his eyes go a little bit glazed, and he looks towards you, Jace, and goes, my true intentions are to return into the good graces of Donaru. I love her so much. And with that, sort of the suggestion fades, and he looks at you with clarity again, and he then starts to draw his weapon and go, "Why did you do? Oh, hang on, with suggestion, you don't actually know you've been influenced, do you?"
Not necessarily. It's not like a charm person where it says, you know that it's happened. I mean, he knows he did it. He can make certain inferences about why he might have done it, but he doesn't know with certainty what happened.
Okay. So he's not going to be aggressive towards you because he's pretty much said the same thing as what he was saying before.
Okay.
See, I think, well, anything to help Donaru is what I think is a good thing. I mean, this angel business and wings, it seems kind of cool, really. I mean, I would love to have some wings. That would be kind of neat. But ultimately, I think that Donaru wants me to do this. I got a feeling.
Jace turns to Reiki and looks at her for a sec, then turns back to Wobani and says, "Okay, Wobani, for you."
And I was like, "Actually, you know what, Jace? Here, let's try this. Maybe you will get a feeling." And I pull out the wooden boar artifact, and I hold it in one hand, and I hold my hungamunga in the other hand. I was like, "Hold my hands."
Jace gives him an uneasy look and then does it.
So you grab my hands, and then I'm going to be like, and I close my eyes and bow my head, and I'm like, "Donru," and I send her my breath in celestial, "Donru, may she live forever." And I try to reach forth to just with yearning to see if she will give validation.
Make a religion check with advantage.
All right, Lady Luck, bring it on. 11. Scheisse.
It's not too bad. It would be funny if you rolled a natural 1. I would have thrown Masquin to come out. But so you earn for the presence of Donaru, and at first you sense nothing, but then there's a tingling on the back of your arm, only to you, Wobani. Jace, you don't notice anything, and then that tingling becomes a light breeze, and and on it there's a smell of salt, sea salt, like it is a breeze that's come from the sea, but there is no sea nearby. You do catch Alvelv look in awe at sensing that as well, and he goes, "See, I knew I was right. I could trust you. You have that link, that link to Donaru."
Did you feel it, Jace?
Jace shakes his head.
Shit. I thought, Now the gods work in mysterious ways. I tried. Do it for me.
Jace turns to Carlos or Alval and says, "Will you be coming with us?"
Oh, you know what, Alval? Look, you know how you can really convince them that this is the thing? And I start making the very familiar gestures and saying the familiar sounds to cast Fog Cloud.
He catches on fairly quickly and copies you. Soon enough, there's a large 40-foot cloud covering quite a large portion of Terrason, and the people around look really confused and are worried.
Jace sneaks back to the pub under the cover of the fog cloud.
Make a stealth check.
That's a 20.
What's your passive perception, Wobani? It wouldn't be that high, would it?
Passive is
17.
Holy shit, 17.
Yeah, okay.
Not
So,
high, but pretty
how
good.
long do you keep the fog cloud up for?
I keep it up because I'm just like, I'm sure, Elvel, that this is an important spell. Like, I don't get it yet, but I know that she taught this to me, and I think it must be for battle.
Oh, you don't know how good this spell is. See, what you do is you cast that on someone else, and so they can't see and attack you. You don't cast it on yourself unless you're trying to sneak past something.
I knew that. Of course I knew that. That makes perfect sense. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, Jace? Riki?
Yes.
And Carlos dismisses, or Alvel dismisses the fog cloud. And although, unfortunately, Wobani's is still up. Alvel... Go on.
Yeah, I still keep the fog cloud up.
Alvel goes, "Wait, where's Jace?"
He's gone for a tea break.
At that point, I dismiss my fog cloud. And I have a big smile on my face, but then it starts to fade because Jace is gone. Well, dropping daisies. Oh wait, no, daisy droppers.
Wow.
Crappy carnations.
Are we going to go bring this temple back to life?
Of course. We just need to get our gear. We need to go underneath the village, I suppose. So I don't need to take my horse and my wagon?
No. We're going to be heading down a mine shaft. So, yes, a horse will be useless.
Oh, shit. How many torches am I going to need?
And with a flick of his wrist, there is a point of light sort of appears next to him. Well, actually, on your shoulder, on your clothes, on your shoulder. He goes, "Oh, we could use this."
That'll probably be better than a torch.
I can keep that up for a while. But let's go find Jace. Do you know where he went?
Oh, there was those girls at the bar last night that he was trying to flirt with.
All right. Well, I'll wait out here.
And I was like, maybe Riki, you should do the talking because I don't know. He doesn't seem to listen to me.
Who doesn't seem to listen?
And I shake my head as if this is a joke. And I walk back to the bar.
All right, let's go.
Okay, you get back and Jace has packed up all his stuff and he's sitting, waiting, ready to leave. He's got he's having a sort of a light second breakfast and another cup of coffee, and he's just strumming his lute between sips of the coffee.
Are you flirting with a girl?
No, not not particularly. I mean, just the usual amount of flirtation. Jace is expecting to leave at any moment.
Oh, well, most excellent. Auspicious, wouldn't you say, Riki? He's ready.
Ready for an adventure.
Well then, shall we get going?
Well, I'm ready. You done with your fog bath?
Oh shit, wait. I run upstairs, and I fill my water skin, and I come back down.
Okay, I think this is probably a good point to have our 7-minute break. So we'll catch everyone up who's listening in about 7 minutes.
Cool.
You are listening to ADlibnd. Now let's get back to the adventure. Welcome back, everyone. We are catching up now with the party ready to leave the Anchor's Rest and follow Alvel, the fallen angel, to a mine site where he's hoping the party will be able to help him return a destroyed Donaru temple.
This could never ever go really, really wrong.
Never.
Never ever. Okay, so Alvel was patiently waiting outside the Anchor's Rest when you guys exit, and he goes, right, well, so the place where we'll be able to get entry in is they've got a mine site that mines copper off to the northeast of Terrason, and they have some shafts we can get down into underneath the land, but we just have to get past the guards. I was just hoping we might be able to sneak past if that's possible.
I mean, however, whichever way, I don't see a good or bad to it.
Right. Well, let's head off then. If you guys are happy to follow.
I follow.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So you progress out of the village and spend the next 30 minutes or so in a northeasterly direction, and soon afterwards you come across, you start seeing large piles of basalt rock scattered around a dirt clearing, and there seems to be several carts placed about as well. You can also see a couple of individuals dressed in mismatched armor walking around the area half-heartedly. They don't seem to be particularly attentive, with a rather bored expression on their faces.
Does this look like very representative of a typical mine? Like, would this, or would there be something strange about this?
How many mine sites have you been to, Wobani?
0.
So I'm not sure if you would even know that this is a mine site.
I don't think I probably would.
So as soon as you get to this area, Alvel looks around and goes, right, well, we just need to avoid those guards. I know of a mine shaft here that should lead us down to a underground river, and from there we should be able to follow it to the ruined city. If you guys are happy to follow.
I put on my best sneaky tiptoes.
Okay, so can everyone make a stealth check, please?
13.
11.
18.
Nice. Just a moment. So I'm just throwing Alvelv onto the combat tracker. I should have thought about that a little while ago. Nevertheless, I'll let him roll his stealth. Right. And you guys start sneaking up, and Alvel is doing his best, trying to guide you along while staying as quiet as possible. But there is a point nearby where he's trying to crawl along one of the piles of basalt rock and starts to slip and creates a bit of a small little rock fall on the other side, and freezes with a look of fear on his face as one of the guards turns to look towards your area. But you manage to find a spot nearby to hide behind, and the guard looks around and sort of shrugs his shoulders and goes, and keeps on going. And before long, you move for the next 15 minutes or so, and he points to a hole in the ground and goes, "It's just down there. That's where we're going to go."
And I immediately enter into the hole.
Okay, so what you look down, you see that this is some sort of well-worn mine shaft with a old wooden ladder. So as you descend into the depths of the disused mine shaft, the air temperature drops a couple of degrees. The old wooden ladder creaks a bit but holds your weight, thankfully. It ends approximately 150 feet down from the shaft entrance at a roughly carved stone corridor that gently slopes down. The corridor is about 3 feet wide and 6 feet tall. And it would be hard to swing weapons with any finesse here. You can hear the echoes of running water in the distance, and the air feels humid.
I only go a few feet in until I can't see, and I wait till the other guys get there because I'm like, I kind of need some light.
So the next person down is Alvel, and he casts that spell again, and it brightens the corridor to the level that a normal torchlight would do. And he goes, "Here you go. I've got this little rock you can hold if you want. That'll help see in the darkness." And he hands you over the rock.
Yeah, okay. I take the rock, yep. And then I start walking down the tunnel. And I say, "Oh, should we expect miners down here?" I whisper.
Well, before we do this, I'm assuming Jace and Riki follow.
Oh, yes.
Certainly.
Okay. So Alvel goes, "Oh, no. This one's a disused mine shaft. They tunneled a little bit and then found that it went to that underground river, and they gave up and moved elsewhere."
Okay. So that being said, then I'll walk a few, like about 10 feet more down, and I'm like, are there things that live in these mines?
Well, I had a look around a little bit, but I didn't get too far. I only got up to the end of this mine shaft where I saw the river. But I've heard that there might be some denizens in and around. They can call these places home. We should be wary.
Okay. Hey, Riki, is this where the new heavy armored Bindi comes in handy?
Well, I'm sure Bindi or even Cinders could go ahead. I think Cinders might be able to pop in ahead and have a little bit of a squirrely look around, or a weaselly look around.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, and I'm a bit worried about things, so I do cast Mage Armor on myself. That does last for a while. Hang on.
Okay, so Cinders appears near Riki and then starts to head down the path, only going 100 feet away from you, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, so you with Cinders guiding the way, you you find that this corridor takes you along for about 2 hours. There's some branching tunnels that run off for about 50 or 100 feet, but they come to dead ends, and you have to work your way back sometimes. But after a while, the party you progress down the major corridor, and the sound of running water increases in intensity as you progress. And at that point, the corridor ends at a cliff face, and you can see something of a underground river beyond. Just one moment. So the mine shaft suddenly stops, and you find yourself on the edge of a cliff. The sound of running water is intense here, blocking out all but the loudest of shouts. Below you can make out several instances of blue luminescence swaying slowly. These objects cast enough light to highlight the reason that this mine shaft finished abruptly. An underground river cuts away at the stone here. The blue luminescence also illuminates a largish waterfall that extends, of which it is possible to tell as it disappears into the roof of this large cavern. So what do you guys do?
Explore.
Jace looks to Alval and says, "So, what's the plan?"
Well, we should try and scale down this cliff face, I think, and then we'll probably follow this river downstream, and I think after a few hours we should be able to find this hidden city I was talking about before.
These swaying blue things, do they look natural?
Make a perception check.
It's 24.
It's hard to make out much detail from where you are, but it looks like some sort of river plant that has adapted its life to being underground.
Okay.
So Alvel, at his word, sort of starts climbing down the cliff, and it's probably about 50 feet down. So he works his way down.
Is it? I mean, he's just climbing with his fingers and toes. He's like no rope.
No rope. He slips a bit at one point, catches himself, and then makes his way down the rest of the way without incident, and then looks up towards everyone else.
Don't see any angelish-looking things as he does that climb, right?
No.
I don't know if I want to do that. Can we not use a rope? I can, if you want, Riki, I can tie the rope around my waist and you can go first. Riki?
Well, how far down is it?
It's about 50 feet.
I won't drop you.
I think I have some abilities that I can use to get myself down safely without using the rope.
What about you, Jace?
Sure. Let's see how we can make use of this rope of yours, Wobani.
So I tie the silk rope. Oh shit. I pull the rope from my backpack and I hold it in my hand and I'm like, yeah, you see these silk ropes here? And then I pull them apart and you can see that in my hand I've got like 10 silk ropes that are about 5 feet long each. Yeah, shit. This is not going to work.
Sounds like a job for your mending, Wobani.
Sadly, oh yes, I do know mending. Okay. I will use mending to make that into one long rope again.
So I use a combination of benign transposition and misty step to just blink out of vision and then just appear at the bottom of the wherever I'm going.
That's
It
really
looks
no
impressive.
fair. That was very impressive. No fair. How did you do that? Misty step, damnations. So I continue to do the mending.
Okay, so after a little while, you manage to mend your rope back to its proper 50-foot length. But you'll have to look around to see where you can attach the rope, unless you're attaching it to yourselves.
Well, Jace, I think I can hold you if you go first, but let's send your gear down first before I carry you.
Then how do you get down, Wobani? Let's see if we can find something to tie it onto up here, hey?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. So we look for a good sized rock or something to tie it onto.
Okay, make an investigation check. All right, now I'm taking that natural one.
Yep.
So you look around and you can't find anything, Wobani. Meanwhile, Jace does see something that a stalak that could work, probably about 5 feet back down the hallway, or back down the. Actually, no, because it would have cleared it out. So this is a stalactite, probably about 5 feet down the cliff face that you'd have to get down to, and you can attach it.
Okay, well, I'll hold you and bring you down, and you tie it up.
Sounds like a plan.
Because I figure your fingers are probably better at tying than mine are.
So, sleight of hand check then for that?
Yep, sleight of hand should be good.
That's a 19.
So you tie a knot that you feel confident will hold everyone's weight. You're sending down your gear first?
My gear's in a backpack. It's, I mean, if I think that it's going to hold me and my backpack, I'd just sooner do it in one trip.
Okay. So can I get you to make a athletics check to climb down?
Do I get any advantage for the rope?
It lowers the DC.
19.
Okay. So you climb down without any issues. You do the same, Wobani. You climb down. So you get to the bottom, and now there's a rope hanging there.
Maybe one of Ricky's little friends could skitter up and nibble the rope free.
Without cutting it, if
Or
possible.
we could leave it there for our return trip, actually.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I mean, because if the friend happened to nibble the rope free, I think the friend would probably be stuck at the top of the cliff.
No way, a weasel can climb up the side of a wall. We
Yeah,
have
true.
weasels everywhere in the north. Them dang things can nearly fly. Can't you, Cinders? You can do it.
I'm pretty
Yes, you
sure
can.
you could help Cinders fly into a wall, and then I could resurrect Cinders a few hours later. But I'd rather not do that at this point in time.
Cinders will be fine.
Out of character, what you could do is you can dismiss your familiar as an action and then recall it as another action.
Okay, well, I'm quite happy to do that if anybody would like me to free the rope from up the top.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we do that. So I get Cinders. I say, Cinders, you can climb the rope or climb the wall, however you're feeling like showing off. Free the rope and then climb back down again. And if you can't climb back down, we'll help you down.
Okay, I'll just see if a weasel has a climb speed.
It must.
It does not. Okay, can I get Cinders to make an athletics check? I'm assuming it's climbing up using the rope. So just roll a d20 and I'll adjust that. Okay, so Cinders starts to climb up the rope, and he gets to probably about 20. Oh, sorry. She gets to about 20 feet and then loses her grip and starts to fall. Can I get Cinders to make a dexterity saving throw to see if she catches herself?
Oh, yeah, it's a 22.
She catches herself and holds herself there, probably dangling about 15 feet from the ground. She can try to continue to climb up.
Yep, she keeps trying.
Oh, no.
She just rolled a 2.
She doesn't get much further before she loses her grip again. Can I get another dex saving throw?
Cinders, what you doing? Okay, I put my head in my hands and I dismiss Cinders, and then I get her to reappear at the top of the rope. So try harder, honey. Try harder.
So she falls the rest of the way. Can you make a dexterity saving throw to see if you catch her?
See if I can catch her. Okay.
Yeah. Before she goes splat on the floor.
No, but did you hear what I just said?
Oh, did you try and unsummon her as she's falling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, yes. She appears at the top then.
That's good because I just rolled a 1. So, but I had already
3,
literally
2,
said
1.
that. I know.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't even fake that. You wouldn't want to.
All right. So she spends her time working at untying the rope, and she gives up and then just starts biting into it, and eventually she cuts away at the rope enough that it falls to the ground. It's slightly shorter now, though. It's about 45 feet.
Okay.
And I was like, Cinders, just push the other bit down.
And she does.
And then when it's all together, I mend it again.
Okay. And then you resummon her back to yourself.
No, I get her to try and climb down to teach her a lesson.
Okay. Can I get her to make an athletics check again, please?
Teach her a lesson.
Yeah, she slips and falls again.
Your little Faye gives you the finger and slips and falls.
Do I do a dex save or what do I do?
Well, are you unsummoning her or are you trying to catch her?
No, I just unsummon her and resummon her again. I think she's had a pretty bad morning. It's alright, Cinders. Just go. I'm pretty sure Bendy might make some space for you in the backpack and you can have a little nap. Just briefly, because we need you to go on scouting mission. Don't risk too easy. You've got to earn your place back in the party. Otherwise, I might summon you back as a bat.
Well, you know, a bat in the cave. And then once we're all there, and I reassemble and roll up my rope, put it back in my backpack. Okay, let's keep on rolling.
Okay. As you follow the river towards your eventual destination, the blue luminescent plants provide adequate lighting. The roaring sound of the waterfall subsides enough such that you do not have to scream to make yourself heard. The river so far has been fairly fast flowing and narrow, cutting a knife-like channel through the rocks towards a destination only Donnaroo knows. Alvelv has been quiet and contemplative during this part of the journey, but then stops and holds up his hand for the rest of the party to do so when his keen ears pick up an unusual noise. As you continue, well, sorry, I'll hold it there if you guys are going to say anything.
Do we recognize the sound?
You could make a nature check. It seems fairly far off at the moment.
12.
No, it's hard to ascertain exactly what kind of sound it is, but it doesn't sound friendly.
What's got your Ginchina tied
Ginch?
up there? Yes, Elvel. What's got your Ginch all tied up?
Alvel looks back to you and goes, I don't know, but I think we should be on our guard. It could be that the echoes here play with location. It makes it hard to work out exactly where everything is. It could be around the next corner, or it could be miles away. But we should be on our guard.
Do you know what that sound was?
No, I don't. It's very unusual.
Was, a thought. When you fell, I mean, you said that you were battling. Is it possible that Donaru has enemies down here?
Possibly. I mean, there are denizens that live in caves, so it could just be one of those.
True, but let's move down this thought a bit. I didn't think of until just now, but what are the enemies of a goddess?
Well, there's demons, devils. There's other creatures of Donaru wouldn't say, but there are other creatures that seem to be probably a little bit older than them that could have that could exert some sort of influence. But I never found out much about what they were.
She hasn't got a husband that's really pissed at her or something. Or
No.
a partner, I'm sorry.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Are we
Lead on then, unless it's lunchtime.
at your mention of lunchtime, his tummy grumbles and goes, "Oh, yeah, I could do with some food." So he looks and sees there's a little narrow alcove in the cave wall or the tunnel wall, and goes, that looks like a good spot. Do we want to sit down and have some lunch?
Sounds good to me. I hope you brought some lunch, Jace.
I've got my dry rations. What did you bring, Wobani?
I brought barbecue, of course.
I bring good berries.
I'll have one of those. Thank you, Ricky.
I hand out the good berries.
Okay, so you pluck the good berries from your newly acquired cloak and hand it out to everybody.
You'll be well fed and regular.
Well, you do know that there's stories of up north of the druids up there who they were healers in their own way, but how they healed with the good berries was, well, have you ever heard the word suppository?
Yes. As in the suppository of all wisdom.
Not quite like that. But that was one way they administered their healing.
Well,
I never myself experienced that, but
you go right ahead, Wobani. Whatever you think.
they're your good berries. I'm just saying.
So you can consume the good berries without having to have the healing effects, so you don't have to worry about rolling a healing surge if you need to.
I just have a regular ration.
Okay. So Alvelv is happy to take one of your good berries if you're offering, Riki.
Really? A fallen angel needs to eat? I mean, don't have to be stingy here, but really?
Yes. He's been stripped of his powers.
What happened if you give a bad person a good berry? Do they get a tummy ache?
There's only one way to find out.
I give him good berry.
he appreciates the offer and eats it without complaint.
Interesting. I make a note in my book.
The plot thickens.
Oh,
That's what
LL.
happens. He's in trouble.
He goes, "Oh, sorry about that. I don't know where that came from." All right, so you spend a little bit of time to relax, and then after a while you get up and progress. So as you continue, the river starts to slow and grow wider, where before it was sharp and narrow, it now almost resembles an underground lake. You also notice that the water is now cloudy with some sort of green brown sludge. The luminescent plants here have taken on a more sickly green glow, and you can see some of them growing within the lake itself. Can I get everyone to make a perception check, please?
You remember when we were in that other cave with the blue substance and you burnt it with your firebolt? What happens if you try to burn that one?
What, the water?
Yes.
You'll have to ask Riki to do that. But
Jace, I can't remember. I think you both can do firebolts, can't you?
Fireball.
No, because fireball. I mean, that's your pizzazz.
Jace shoots a firebolt at the water for Wobani.
So Riki, you can see some ripples in the water. It's like there's something underneath that's moving. The firebolt streaks out towards the water and then is putters out when it hits the actual water surface. Jace, you also notice the ripples, but neither Cinders or Wobani catch sight of them.
Cinders is showing me a cool trick he's doing with some pebbles.
Do the ripples react to the firebolt at all?
No, not at this stage.
Could I create a little? Can I use prestidigitation to create a little flame or the illusion of something moving around on the water's edge?
You can create a flame with prestidigitation, but I don't think you can create an illusion.
I mean, so it's like something's carrying a flame around on the water's edge.
Actually, you can make a non-magical trinket that lasts until the end of your next turn. That can fit in your hand, about 10 feet away. But
I'm just trying to make something appear at the water's edge that would catch something's attention, so it would leap out and attack. So a little flame or anything would do.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do that in this instance. So you cast this little flame, and it sits there on the water's edge before it goes out quite slowly. Make a perception check if you want.
Yeah, that's a 12.
The ripples seem to move a little bit quicker towards the flame, but then they stop once the flame goes out.
I cast it again.
So after a little bit more enticement, there's a very large-looking white and mottled crab comes out of the water and attempts to snap at the flame before it disappears. But once it emerges, it catches sight of you and starts to move towards you. Can I get everyone here to roll initiative, please? Okay, just one moment while I set things up.
Is in your map?
Do you see the map okay?
Yep.
Okay, so you're coming in from the left, and I'll just put you down. Okay, so Alvelv is sort of hanging back a little bit. Riki is on the surface. Is near this the edge of the water because she has to be fairly close to cast that spell.
Oh, that brownish-looking stuff is the water.
Is the water, yes, and one of the crabs is come out. Well, there's more than one ripple that you've noticed out there.
We got crabs.
No, you got crabs.
Okay, Cinders, what are you doing, Cinders?
Running and hiding.
Okay, so where is Cinders going to?
Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the map. Hang on. So is Cinders on the map there? That's a mutated crab. We'll buy. Oh, there we are. Cinders. No, where on the map? Oh, that's the water, isn't it? Okay. Cinders runs away and hides against the wall. There we go, Cinders.
Okay. Another crab comes out of the water with its claws snapping, Riki. It manages to get up to you, but doesn't do anything else.
No.
You had to be fairly close to do that spell, by the way. That's why I put you that close.
Are they like? How big are these crabs?
They're about 4 feet high, and they are white and grey mottled shell, and there seems to be a little bit of green pus coming out of the joints in their exoskeleton.
I would just like to point out that Riki wouldn't have just stood there while this crab walked up to her. I think she would have skedaddled the second she saw the crab come out of the water. But anyway.
Okay, do you want to be a little bit further?
Well, yes, but I don't know. We'll go with this for now.
Okay.
Well, it's just teleported in front of me.
Yeah, they're all coming out of the water at the moment. These crabs are walking out of the water and moving towards you.
Thanks, Riki.
I don't think my magic flame is that powerful.
Okay. So Jace surveys the situation and thinks the crab in front of him is the most immediate threat, so he's going to try to skewer it with his rapier, along with a bit of a green flame blade.
Okay, make an attack. The rapier sort of you look like you're going to succeed in hitting it, but it's sort of at one last point it moves and the rapier bends and bounces off its exoskeleton.
Okay. Well, think that's it. Actually, Jason.
What's Jace doing?
I was gonna do a move, but it's okay. I've missed my moment.
Okay. So another crab comes out of the water up towards you, Riki, its claws snapping. Meanwhile, Alvel, hanging back a little bit, goes, "Oh, the Donaru, come, bless this this combat." And a luminescent wave, or actually a luminescent hammer, appears next to the crab. That's one of the crabs that's menacing you, Riki. So I'll just bring that out. So it's not a potato, it is a hammer. I'll have to get a better icon for this, but the spiritual weapon lashes out at the crab.
He can't be from Donaru. He summons a potato as a spiritual weapon.
Unfortunately, the potato bounces, slash hammer bounces off the hard carapace, but that doesn't stop him, and he lets loose a holy light towards it as well. So this one does manage to hit, and he alights the crab in a holy radiant light. Riki, you're up.
Am I indeed? Alright. I am going, funnily enough, I'm going to cast Thunderwave in the direction of the crabs. So I can do it. 15-foot cube. Hold up so I can hit, I think, these crabs. Is that right?
Should be able to hit 3 in 1, definitely.
Yeah. So what about 5?
No, because it emanates from you, so you have to choose either 3 and 5 or 5 and 1.
Okay, so definitely 3 and 5 then. Alright, fingers crossed I cast Thunderwave.
So they sort of hunker down, and the wave of sonic energy seems to go over them relatively harmlessly. So you just roll half damage.
Yeah, I still get damage.
Yeah, so they take a bit of damage, but not as much as you were hoping, and they're not knocked back.
Okay, just one other thing. Hold up 1 second. Okay, so I cast Misty Step and just... Can I cast Misty Step without provoking?
Yes.
Okay, so I cast Misty Step and then appear a good way away.
Since it's an ability and not one of the spells you've memorized, you should be able to cast it at the same time as the other spell.
Okay, so I cast it and pop over right next to Alvel. And walk a bit further. And that's my turn.
Wobani, you're up.
I will put Bane. I will cast. That's to cast a spell. That means it's a bonus action. I would have to. Yep, I'm going to put Bane. I cast the spell Bane, and I'm going to drop it on the 3 that are closest to me and Jay. So that one, and that one. Pretty sure it's on 3.
It is on 3. Yep.
Up to 3
unless you're
creatures.
upcasting.
Yep. Okay. And I will. There we go. Oh shit. Why did it do 4?
Are you targeted for?
Oh shit. Giant Crab 5 was not supposed to be in there. But
Okay,
they all
so just
failed.
remove that. If you remove that target, and then you
Yeah,
can
I
apply
did.
the effect.
Yeah. Oof. So I cast that spell, and then as a bonus action, I will use a key point to put to cast Patient Defense.
Okay, so you're staying where you are and just dodging.
Yep. And I get the dodge action on myself, and that's my turn.
Okay. The crab that was originally attracted to the light walks up to you, Jace, and lashes out with one of its claws. But you duck out of the way as its claws seem to miss you with a wide arc. I'm assuming Cinders is just moving away as fast as
Yeah,
she can.
Cinders is just
Gone.
just holding back.
Yeah,
She knows her strengths.
She climbed up into this hole.
Yeah, she can't even climb a wall these days. She's feeling like she can't take on giant mutated crabs. Step too far.
Oh, okay. So one of the crabs walks up to you, Wobani, and tries to snap at you, but misses horribly.
I lift my foot.
The next one that tries to attack you, Jace. And rolls a 6 and misses. And then number 2 tries to attack you, Wobani. They're rolling badly. Oh, that one. Oh, it's just a miss. Would have hit otherwise.
Well, normally.
Lucky.
If it's not a
Lucky
miss,
had
then
Bane on.
It's gotta be a hit.
Jace, you're up.
Jace is going to cast Hypnotic Pattern. Grab all of those. Okay, so lights burst out, and looks like 3 of the 4 are going to be was it stunned or?
They're distracted. They're not stunned per se, but they're distracted by the hypnotic pattern. I think they're incapacitated.
Incapacitated, yeah, incapacitated now.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so Jace calls out, "Don't hit the ones that I've incapacitated."
Very technical there, Jace.
The ones whose little black feely eyes have wobbled and are now looking at the ground. Don't hit those ones.
Okay.
So you're not moving at all?
Hang on. Yep.
Because you'd be able to move away from them since they're both distracted by the bright light that seems to be sparkling in the cave.
Yeah, Jace is going to move.
Just to there?
No, hang on. Sorry. Jace will move next to Wobani and get ready to help him take out the mutated crab number 2.
Okay. That one's incapacitated. Elvel uses his spiritual weapon on one of the crabs that isn't distracted. and lands a nasty blow on its shell. Oh, only rolls double ones. As the spiritual hammer hits down on the crab, the pustules on the joints of the crab explodes and sprays towards you, Wobani.
Oh, yucky.
Yeah. Okay, so you do manage to duck out of the way, though. So it doesn't do any damage. And then Alvelv follows up with a bright searing light against it as well. But this time it sees the spell coming and ducks out of the way. Riki, you're up.
I believe I can cast Snillock's Snowball Swarm on and get Crab 4, 5, and 3. I think without hitting the potato.
Well, you don't have to worry about the potato. It's just a spiritual weapon.
Yeah, but I don't want to hit the potato. That could just get messy. Okay.
It's a radiantly glowing potato.
Actually, no, I've changed my mind. Who should we? I can probably go for would it be better if you want me to hit Mutated Crab 2?
That would be optimal.
Okay. And 1? Alright, I'll take them out instead.
One of the crabs, after taking quite a few hits, freezes, and it just turns into a completely frozen shell and drops to the ground. The other one seems to be still standing.
Crab never tastes as good when it's been frozen.
Okay, Wobani, you're up.
I pull the shovel from the side of my backpack and I swing the shovel, the flat end of the shovel, to smash into the face of this crab. Oh, I guess I gotta target him. There we go. Oh, you're freaking kidding me.
Why are you using the shovel?
It seemed interesting to try to hit a crab with.
Okay.
It seemed like a good weapon to smush them. The shovel, I rolled a natural 1. I crit failed. And then I will follow up with bonus action to. So I go with the flat of the shovel in the spade part, and I go and I miss, but with the momentum I flip it around and try to smuck him with the backside of the my heel. Yeah, my heel. That's what it was.
Okay. This time you connect. And as you do, this one spurts out some goo towards while that happens.
He spit goo at me?
No. You hit. You dodge out of the way anyway. You hit the crab, and the poisonous pustules in its joints. One of them explodes towards you because you've landed a blow against it.
I use the spade part of my shovel to smack the pustulely pus towards mutated crab number 3.
But the spade
I know
is a bit of a shield in this instance, and the pus is ineffective at hitting you.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2 is going to attack you, Wobani, or attempt to.
Miss. Yes.
Oh, man.
Thank God for pain.
This is such a one-sided combat. Jace.
Jace is going to take a poke at the mutated crab number 2. Actually, he'll cast Dissonant Whispers at it. Oh dear.
Oh, you whispered something mighty inside that crab's
I
ear.
did, yes.
Okay, describe its demise. How does this happen?
So, the crab puts both its little claws, or big claws, I guess, against the side of its head, and it makes this screeching noise of pain, and then all of its eye stalks just pop.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And it collapses to the ground, blind and very dead.
And the black parts of its eye stalks were actually black pearls.
Not anymore, they're not.
Damn.
Okay, Jace is going to come around next to Wobani.
So Alvelv looks to Jace and goes, do I hit them? What are we doing now? And he just holds his action for now. Ricky, you're up.
Alright, so I think we can start hitting and harming the other lot, can't we?
Jace calls out, one at a time, please.
One at a time, so no great big fireballs or anything fun.
Go for the one to the north of the potato.
Yeah, like number 5.
If that's what you call it.
Okay, the one with the 5 tattooed on its shell. I can do that. I cast Magic Missile on the ugly thing. Just at level 1. Alright, I think that's about all I can do. Alright. Next.
Okay, so as the magical bolts slam into the creature, it wakes up from its stupor. Wobani, you're up.
All right. Not wanting to get more of those pustules on me, I will stay where I am, and I'll focus, and I'll say some nasty words to it, and wiggle my fingers, and instead of putting my thumb up and saying, "Hey," I put my thumb down and say, "Oh," and I put Toll of the Dead on him.
Okay. And it failed.
Awesome. Yeah, nice. There's a Toll of the Dead that works.
Okay, describe this poor one's demise.
So I focus with my arcane sight on the point between its eye stalks, and I put the sound of the bell there, and it vibrates so violently that the white meat inside of it turns to mush and it falls out of its exoskeleton.
Oh, that's horrible.
And I looked at Jace and I was like, and a nod. And I was like, that's the way.
Jace returns the nod.
Okay, Jace, you're up.
Okay. So, Jace looks at the mutated crab 3 in front of him and decides it needs to die, and he is going to cast Green Flame Blade on it. It's a hit. And he follows up with Psychic Blades.
And as it dies, one of its poisonous globules explodes towards you, Jace. Hooray!
I smack it with my shovel.
I can at least... Oh, you lost the...
Are you kidding me?
Not that it matters, but I did some damage. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, so I'm still my turn. No, Jace. It's going to end his.
Well, that one's dead. Elvis is sort of seeing that the other one seems to have woken up, and he moves his spiritual weapon towards it, and then tries to smack it. The hammer comes down, and it just bounces harmlessly off the shell. He roars in anger and attempts to use Sacred Flame on it. And succeed. So it cooks it, but it's still there. Ricky, you're up.
All right, I'm just gonna magic missile that thing to death. I cast magic missile at level 2.
You pepper its shell, and it's mighty hurt, but it's still there.
It's
Wobani.
like this, Riki, like this, and I do Toll the Dead again.
It fails and dies. Describe this one. The death for this one is the same as the other one.
No, this time I put the tolling sound directly between the two moving eye things, and they pop off because I was hoping to get the black pearls from them, but they don't.
No, it just oozes out blackness.
Well, that worked better than I thought. I think that Bane did a good job. Well, let's see if there's anything interesting about these crabs.
So
that sounds not right, but
a closer look of the crustaceans, you realise that they seem to be a bit of a mutated creature, much larger than what you've seen of any other crabs. They, like I said, have a white mottled shell with a bit of brown and or grey, and have the green pustules on its on the corners of at their joints.
The pustules and how they did I notice anything about the pustules when they hit Jace, in the sense that maybe they could be worth trying to harvest?
You can attempt to. They certainly hurt Jace.
Joe steps well back.
I'm not going to do... I mean, I've got myself a healer's kit and a herbalism kit. That's not my forte. No, I just thought maybe there's something there. But never mind. There's no black pearls about them, is there?
You can investigate to have a look.
I very carefully try to look. I'm using my shovel to poke and prod with, is what I'm going to be using to do my investigation.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Due to the fact that you're not using your hands, you don't have a good time trying to find anything of substance. It just looks like large crabs with some of the crabs have lost their legs due to the damage you guys have done. Others have lost their eyes.
Do they stink?
There's a bit of a smell coming off the water nearby, and they have a similar smell to them. It smells
like
a bit of
rot.
Yeah, a little bit of rot, I think.
Okay. Well, Nasty crabs. We don't have to cross this river, do we, Alvel?
He goes, well, I'm hoping there's a path to the north here if we keep going.
All right.
Should we send? I think we could send Cinders for a look around. I mean,
Where did she go anyway?
she's pretty well rested after that fight.
Okay.
Okay, so you send Cinders off. It's just some loose rocks and stalagmites and stalactites around.
Looks a lot like the place where the gem elemental was. I don't want to face one of them again.
Oh, that was unpleasant. Oh, that looks like there's a bit of a path alongside the water up ahead, everyone.
Not really going through the water.
Sure.
You just did.
You skipped along the top.
It's so thick you're happy to walk over it. So after a while, you come across the creation of how this underground lake has become. So you find there's a large pile of detritus and refuge to be dumped here, creating a makeshift dam for the underground water.
So does this look like this might be the reason why the water is fetid?
Yes. It's oozing out on the other side a little bit slowly, and it still looks contaminated.
So if we blow that up, everything will be good.
Does anyone have TNT?
I've I have fireball.
Shatter. Do you have shatter?
Sure, shadow would have been useful, wouldn't it? Hang on, let me have a look. I have it. Can I cast it as a ritual? Oh, worth a try. I didn't have it memorized, unfortunately.
Just then you hear that same noise that you heard before. It's a little bit nearer. It seems to be coming from the down the tunnel of the river again. So
Oh, can we please blow up that thing and flood whatever's down there? Does anybody
Well,
else? Can we
I
just cast
I
magic
think we should.
missile at it until it cracks and falls apart?
I got my shovel here.
well, I mean, when you have a look at it closer, you see that this pile of rocks and other materials is just piled up, and you look up and you can see there's a shaft in the ceiling, and it's piled all the way up to the top.
So it's not like dirty diapers.
No, it looks like the same similar piles that you saw on the surface.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, a shatter probably would have been a good one. I mean,
Oh well.
we could, Riki, we could like try to thunder wave it a number of times.
I mean, that might work.
Get to the other side, and we could hit it from the other side, from the narrower side, going out towards the pool. And maybe if we cast thunder wave a couple of times as strong as we can. I mean, I can cast it with a little bit more panache than
Maybe
normal.
causing cave-ins underground is not the best of plans.
Yeah, maybe.
Can I tell, like, am I got the savviness to look at these rock walls and the passageways and figure if there is an iota of a chance that the cave-in would happen?
Make an straight intelligence check.
Actually, what I think I'll do instead is I will whisper to the wooden artifact, and I'll be like, "Hey, Masquin, come out for a tad."
And with that, a bright light starts to appear next to the wooden boar, and out pops Masquin. You cold, Ballmaster?
Yeah. Well, what do you know about caves? Can we like blast that wall there and not have this whole place come crashing down around our ears?
Oh, I don't know about those things.
Well, shit, Masquin. Every time I call you, you don't have answers. You're like not. You're a terrible dictionary.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Master.
Don't you have like access to all knowledge forever and ever? Like, oh, there was a creature up north that the northern tribes we used to talk about in awe. We called it the Google.
I don't know what you're talking about, Boarkeeper. It's almost like you're after some sort of knowledgeable person who's controlling this world. I don't have access to that.
Maybe I could pray to Donaroo. All right, I dismiss Masquin.
He disappears and goes back into the boar.
Well, that was not worth shit of a dime. Well, what do you think, Alval? You're all quiet.
He asking all the DM related people to try and get an answer.
That's a very good idea. No, I think we should all just barrel straight down that corridor towards whatever's making those horrible noises. No, I didn't say that.
So Alval looks at the pile of debris and goes, like destroying dams is not really my forte. I mean, you could try, and it may come down. But,
well,
I mean, who's to say how much more is above?
Riki, you guys probably have more an aptitude for this. Like, what can I do to help you determine whether or not we can use Thunderwave? Like, I mean, would there be a place that you think that we could place the Thunderwave on that wall to make it fall and just it fall?
Shall I do an intelligence check, or what shall I do?
Yeah, you can make an intelligence check. I don't know why Wobani is avoiding this.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I was going to say, can I help her? That's why I was trying to.
No.
That's a 13.
Get your ass over here, Jason. Help her out. I'm no good at this stuff.
No, you guys. For these sorts of checks, there's no helping. It's just a straight roll.
Well, it was a 13, so.
Okay. You don't have a lot of experience with construction and finding a weak point in a wall, but there looks like there is some parts of this that are looser than others. But you're a little bit concerned about how much more is above you, because it seems to just disappear into this hole in the roof.
Okay, so after I've gone up and had a look and had a bit of a think about it, I turn around and say, Wobani, it goes up as well as out. I would rather the stuff that goes up doesn't all come down.
So as you say that, you see that I'm focused and I'm pointing at the wall, and I'm about to make the somatic gesture, and I was like, really?
Yes, don't. Just stop.
Shit.
So you listen to Riki, but not to me.
Well, she studied the wall. What did you do? You just stood back there picking your nose.
I said, don't cause cave-ins when we're down here in the tunnels.
How did you know it was going to
strange.
cave in? Well, you just guessed that? She did some research. Don't tell me you're an expert at caves. You got a certificate?
Jace quickly produces a certificate. the ink on it's still wet.
You have a forgery kit. Oh, sorry, Jace. Well, you should have shown that the first off. Jeez.
It's an Institute of the Shykesters Institute of Caveology.
Is that somewhere down in where you come from? That's
That's right.
Like a special school?
That's right, yes.
Gotcha.
Proficiency in the knowledge of stalactites and stalagmites.
That's right.
So we just follow after Cinders then.
Yes, come Cinders. Or go Cinders, go. Squeak, squeak.
I couldn't find a weasel noise.
Squeak. Well, no, I don't think any of us would know. Well, I certainly wouldn't know well enough to argue with you.
Okay, so this subterranean river continues to carve a path underground, a bit at a slower pace after the blockage. The side of the blockage, the water looks the same or even a bit more contaminated than before, and ripples can be seen on occasion with something underneath momentarily breaks the surface before sinking underwater again. The occasional sound of the ominous wailing you heard before continues, getting slightly louder as you progress. After an indeterminate amount of time, the cave tunnel starts to open up and a grand cavern is before you. The cavern roof disappears into the darkness above, but from the reduced potency of the echoes from your footfalls and the occasional murmurings, this cave must be large indeed. On the edge of your torchlight, you can see the site of large wooden beams and what looks like broken pottery. And I think that this might be a good place to stop for the night.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Thanks everyone. Thanks
Thank you.
Wobani, Jace, and Riki for the fun game.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I was wondering whether you were going to take down a dam from the low side, because that seemed a little bit insane.
Oh, insane but fun, really. I mean, it is part of the magic of storytelling. That could have gone
That's
many
right.
ways.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's right.
Let the Donnaroo
players
likes
do-
waves. We could have created some incredible tribute to Donnaroo that would have summoned her and solved the mystery.
She would have come. That's right. We players will do as we do, not knowing if we go left or right. We will not hear or see the clues that you provide for us. They will exist but not exist in our minds. We will still go left.
I must say that last combat was very one-sided.
No.
It's like,
We were being blessed. We were on a mission.
I just wanted to do a fireball, but I couldn't.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
honestly, you didn't have to. I mean, the only person who took damage was Jace, and that was 4.
Yeah, but blowing crabs up would have been fun. It would have been so messy.
But here's the thing. I realize now is that with the battle that we did so well that we were blessed on, clearly this means we've earned our next level.
Oh, you're close to
Definitely.
it. Very close.
I sent you a bunch of new weasel pictures too, Riki,
Good, thank you.
in Discord.
I think you might be blessed the next time when you bring the temple to its rightful place on the surface.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do that, but yeah, okay.
Or not, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you had a good time. Remember, you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, and Discord. See the details of the descriptions below. And if you want to vote, come join us on the Filthy Pigs Discord server. And I think with that, we'll say goodbye.
Was